Yo, what's up guys, Ghost here, and today I wanted to have another chat about the upcoming Battlefield game, why you'll most likely be needing one of the newer consoles to play it, and how the series will be moving forward. So it's due for release towards the end of 2021, which of course was confirmed the other day by EA during one of their fiscal meeting calls. If you missed that video and want all the details, you can click the little eye thingy up above. So when we talk about what Battlefield 6 will be capable of and what sort of console you'll need to play it, we need to know what kind of engine it's going to be running on, and for that, we need a little history lesson on the Frostbite engine, which is used for all the more recent Battlefield games. So Bad Company was the first game to use the initial Frostbite engine all the way back in 2008, and that introduced Destruction 1.0, which allowed players to destroy the environment. A couple of years later, in 2010, Bad Company 2 was released, and for that game, they created a newer version which is generally called Frostbite 1.5, and along with it, Destruction 2.0, that allowed for players to entirely demolish structures. Spin on to Battlefield 3's release in 2011, and we have Frostbite 2 and Destruction 3.0, which made falling debris potentially lethal to the player. It also included the addition of suppressive fire and the vehicle disabling mechanic. And then finally in 2013 we had the debut of the engine we are all currently familiar with, Frostbite 3 on Battlefield 4. And of course with it came Destruction 4.0, which is now known as Levolution. So it's 2020 now, and for the past 7 years EA's games have been using the Frostbite 3 engine, from Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and most recently Star Wars Squadrons. So I think it's a safe guess to say that Battlefield 6 will more than likely be running on a new engine, almost definitely Frostbite 4 along with Destruction 5.0. A lot of things point to this. Firstly, you've got a 3-year release gap between Battlefield games, which is unusually long for the series. They must be using that time for something, and it could well be that they're developing a new engine. Secondly, they're going to be launching about a year after the new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X have come onto the market, meaning a lot of players will have probably upgraded by then. And thirdly, the Frostbite 3 engine is already 7 years old, and I would say past its prime. I think the main reason EA have kept their games on the Frostbite 3 engine for so long is because of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Battlefield games have been pushed to their limits on these consoles with 64 players and hitting 60 FPS, and it's long been known that consoles are generally the limiting factor for games that are set to release on multiple platforms. So assuming DICE are releasing Battlefield 2021 with a new engine, bigger and badder destruction with things like collapsible buildings and even better levolution, and then an even bigger player size, possibly 128 players, I just can't see the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One handling any of that. And definitely not at 60 FPS. Just imagine the size of the maps. You might think 128 players sounds impressive, and that's a lot more calculations your system will have to do, but you also need a map twice the size and with twice as many flags to play on. Now this is all speculation of course, but I would expect you to need one of the new consoles to play the new Battlefield game. Of course there is also the other option that they could be making a dumbed down version of the game with half the player count to run on the older consoles, the same way they did for the Xbox 360 and PS3 with Battlefield 4. But personally, I hope they don't make any compromises because of outdated tech just to sell more copies. Rather make a fantastic game on the new tech, and eventually when people upgrade, they'll buy it. DICE need to deliver an absolute banger with this game, and using a new engine, new hardware, and taking their time with this game is definitely the way. I'll leave it there for today guys, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Do you guys think it's going to come out on older consoles or not, and which would you prefer? Hit that like button up if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Battlefield, and I'll see you guys next time.